Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Yes, you guys have requested this heavily, and I mean absolutely ridiculously heavily that you wanted me to cover the TV show Robyn. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We are officially in episode 1, the review for Robyn Hood. Robyn with a Y, Robyn the Hood, whatever the hell you want to call it. We're going to get into this episode, ladies and gentlemen, but of course, before we do, if you're new here, if you can subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm shadow banned as hell, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, which, by the way, this is a long video, so consider giving me a long view duration. I would greatly appreciate it. My suffering is for your enjoyment. Let's get into it. Now, it starts off with a parental advisory that I feel like has a double meaning because they try to tell you that it's about the subject matter when in fact it's trying to warn you just how bad this show is. Let's get into it.
We don't do the flashy gutter how we live.
So right off the bat, you are inundated with some of the worst god-awful music that I think I've ever heard. I'm not kidding. Like, I understand that music is up to the person, you know, everybody has different tastes, but there's no way that anybody likes this absolutely terrible music. But again, this is the urban setting that they're trying to go for here.
My hood versus your hood, come and see just how we live.
You're killing it, Robyn.
Baby, we the coders, come and try us, we the...
The introduction to Robyn, you know, the main character, obviously, that apparently, according to the panelists on Saturday Night Hypnosis, it looks like that she has a dick drawn on her mask, but that's not it.
Run this hood, run this hood, run this.
I honestly didn't think the music could get any worse. I really didn't. And then it got to that part. So just so you guys are aware, I'm suffering right now. I'm absolutely suffering.
It'll take the sour.
Okay, get it, Max.
We on that grimy shit.
Yes, the music continues to get worse. How that is, I'm not sure.
Hood, we ain't no joke. My crew is ride or die, ride or die, ride or die.
How did we get to that angle? Like the phone was facing upwards. It wasn't even facing them. Why are you now dancing in front of the phone if the phone is facing upwards and you're not even getting the shot proper? It's just kind of weird. But of course, now we're up to the guys portion of the song. That is not the angle that the phone was facing. If you guys remember where the angle was, it was literally facing at the ceiling. That is not the angle it was facing. But why would you expect any consistency in a show like this? And this is only the beginning.
Private property. We can do whatever we want.
So you're going to see throughout this episode, you're going to see a lot of references to certain social justice aspects that BLM is fighting for or supposedly fighting for in the United States. I know this is a Canada-based show, but you got to understand there is a lot of tie to these things here. This entire TV show is one massive BLM advertisement. Everything in this show is everything that BLM, the Marxist corporation, talks about. So you have the police officers here entering, and of course they're saying it's private property. We can do whatever we want. Because one of the big things that they have a problem with is private property. You guys would know that. So let's continue.
Nice mask.
I do find it interesting that the first cop that they introduced in this show is a non-white cop, because every other cop in the first and second episode are all literally white and evil.
Take it off.
Hey, B.
Run this hood, run this hood.
Where were you swinging? I don't understand. Like, where were you swinging? I understand that the light was in your face, but you must have known that this guy or girl, whoever the hell was on the floor, was gone for a while. Like, the light, you acted as if you were burning. Like, you're a vampire burning from the light. And then, here's the best part. Instead of chasing him down this way, look where the cop goes.
Run this.
The cop decides to go the other way. You can't see because my character's blocking it, but the cop goes the opposite way from where they're running. Like, why would you not chase them down the actual way that they went? I have no idea.
Run this, you know we run this.
Wow, for a police officer to get completely manhandled by a 100-pound woman like that is absolutely insane. Mind you, these are police officers that are in gear and literally just got turned around and thrown into a pool. He even has this face because you got to remember they want to sell this, right? So you're gonna have the cop look at the camera like, "Whoa, wow, strong woman."
Run it.
They want to constantly remind you that they run this hood. This song is going to keep playing throughout the entire first episode, so I apologize ahead of time.
Run it.
Of course, they're gonna have Sherwood Avenue and everything show up because they want to know exactly where they are. That's just obvious.
You know we run this.
Now, this part's pretty funny. So Sherwood Towers is supposed to represent, I would imagine, the projects, right? Or like what you would consider to be the projects and the community within the projects. Who really knows? But that's how they act throughout this first episode, regardless. Now, the funny thing about this scene is that it's trying to sell you on the idea that it's just one big community and everybody hates the cops. It's all cops are bad, right? ACAB, that consistent thing that they want to constantly bring up, whenever BLM is front and center, they want to make all cops look like they're bad. So this is what essentially happens in this episode. Check it out.
Come on out! We just want to talk.
So you have obviously the entire community is just saying, oh, cops, go away, even though they have no idea why the cops are there. None of them in the towers have any idea why the cops are there. And yet, because they're trying to sell this whole ACAB thing, they have the entire towers throwing food and stuff at the cops just because they showed up randomly. Like, you don't even know why they're there. What if they're actually there to help you or to help the situation? What if something bad is happening? But no, you just want to throw stuff out because you want to sell the idea that all cops are bad. Clearly.
These hood rats want to play? Get the toys up!
This entire episode just screams like it's a really bad cutscene of Watch Dogs Legion. So I'm just saying, especially when the drones come out.
Sending in an aerial unit.
Now, this shit is very, very insulting, okay? I just want to be very clear. This is supposed to be a high-tech grade drone, right? Military-esque drone. And look at what it's about to get taken out by. It's about to get taken out by a literal $2 put-together slingshot that throws 8 balls. Yes, like, it throws 8 balls, and you're knocking down a military-grade drone. I don't even know. I don't even know.
I ain't tested it yet. Okay, Much, you got this.
You haven't tested the slingshot that was literally put together within 2 seconds by getting a piece of wood and a fucking metal V and throwing a string on it? Are you serious right now? You're acting like it's a high-grade piece of military equipment, but it's a fucking car. It's a slingshot. Like, it's a slingshot made of wood. Like, what are you talking about? I haven't tested it yet. What does that even mean?
Here, let me try.
Of course, Robyn's got to get the winning shot here. Otherwise, why would she be the titular character, you know? Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is a high-grade S drone, and it's about to get taken out by an 8 ball.
Drone down. Damn it!
And again, the Sherwood Towers, they're using the same footage they showed last time, but now they're doing it in reverse. Instead of bottom to top, now it's top to bottom. But you show them literally throwing stuff at the cops the entire time. This whole time, you mean to tell me that people in these towers have found multiple things to keep throwing at the cops, because clearly none of them need their glasses or food or anything. They're throwing eggs, glasses, all kinds of things at the cops, and they still have no idea why the cops are there. But I guess maybe they're protecting the vigilantes. Who really knows?
Get your asses back to base.
So that's it. That's all it takes. All it takes is for them to shoot down the drone and the cops leave because they don't want to go inside and actually pursue the vigilantes. Even though they know the vigilantes are there and they could easily call for backup, they choose not to do so and they leave because they got some food thrown at them and their drone got shot down by an 8-ball slingshot. Unbelievable.
Can't touch us.
Not a kid.
And stay out of Sherwood.
Whoever the actress is that plays Robyn literally struggles with emotion worse than Kristen Stewart. I didn't imagine that there's somebody out there that can portray so little emotion for multiple different lines, and yet we have found that person. She is so utterly bad at portraying emotions that the entire time I'm watching her do her scenes, I'm like, are you going to actually try at any point? Or is this the like maximum that you're capable of with your acting? Terrible ass intro. We're going to skip this. So now we get to the fun part where we get introduced to the first white bad cop that we've seen aside from that guy's partner. This is the very, very cringy sheriff. She has to weigh at least 90 pounds, and she's trying to put on this extremely masculine energy style character where she is so in charge that she needs to belittle these men. Check this out. And also, there's going to be an extremely cringy moment coming up, so I would highly, highly recommend that you prepare yourselves for this.
And their salaries combined. I expect a tale of heroic proportions. Is that how they handle things over in Mercia? Whole squad on call to carry your incompetent ass? No, you haven't!
You know, nothing is more cringy than a woman trying to convince you she's strong and powerful. I can't. This scene is just really bad because it is showing such an utter weakness that is trying to come off as strength, and it's bad. Like, I don't. These characters are not great at all. You know, when I'm watching this TV show, I'm trying to look for at least one character I can like tie myself to and convince myself that it's remotely even convincing. None of them are. None of them are. Even the men are just every single dude is just a complete cuck in this show. They get completely destroyed by women every single time, and it's bad. Like you're about to see it. Watch.
Sherwooders are tight. They're smart. Don't talk to cops.
Just so you guys are aware, when she refers to Sherwooders, she's essentially referring to the people in the hood. So she's basically saying that the hood people are smart, they're community, they're tight, they take care of each other. Has anybody never been in the hood before? Seriously, there's a reason why black on black crime is a thing.
They care about each other.
Oh my god. Please tell me you guys saw that kick and the massive delay on it. I mean, oh my god. She took off her boot to kick him. She took off her boot to kick him. And that kick was so damn weak. I don't even know. Like, I'm in pain. You guys realize, I want you to realize that I am in pain watching this TV show. That kick was god awful. God awful. Why are you showing me this? You want me to believe that this 90-pound woman just kicked this dude and he flew back like that? You're going to have to watch it again.
They care about each other.
Oh my
Get that Bruce
God.
documented. You're dismissed.
Strong and independent woman, ladies and gentlemen, right here for the picking. So now we're going to get to the scenes where Robyn is with her mother, and her mother essentially thinks that Robyn is a whore, which is amazing.
You were out late. Who with? Tyson? Amit? Okay. Lauren?
They also make it very clear every chance that they get in this TV show that Robyn, the main character, is bisexual. Because, of course, being bisexual is the easiest form of LGBTQ representation. It actually takes no effort. It takes no work. You play for both sides, and that's basically it. So they have decided that she's going to be bisexual, and they remind you multiple times throughout the entire show, just so you're aware.
Come on, get that blood flowing. Jill, get in.
Any chance they get, because it's a black family, clearly they need to all be dancing at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, I hate the fact that this was actually written by someone who apparently likes to say they're in the black community, and there is so many different black stereotypes that are rampant in this TV show, like literally rampant, and that is one of them, of course.
Speaking of which, I heard you come in late last night. Fill up the condom jar if you need a re-up.
Why am I doing this? Like, why did you guys make me do this? I really need to have that open conversation with this. Like, why did you make me do this? Why? Did she just say there's a condom jar in a house? Like, why? Why? Your daughter's a whore.
That Allen's. Make that face all you want, as long as you don't catch something. Here, now try some of these.
Oh, it's okay to be a whore, just don't catch nothing. That's basically what she's trying to say. Great parenting here.
What was going on about protein?
Well, I got my fix right here.
Well, considering we found out how much of a whore she is, I don't think protein is what she's light on.
So, took on some new apps and making some money. I thought maybe I could finally get my own place.
This woman seriously she just cannot show any emotion in any aspect. Like, she reads her lines with zero emotion. Zero.
Oh, yeah? Which tower?
I was thinking Mercia.
Mercia. How are you gonna make ends meet in Mercia? You and I.
You see how animated the mom is? At least she's actually reading her lines with some sort of like animation to her and putting some effort into it. Where Robyn, on the other hand, nothing. She just cannot read her lines with any enthusiasm whatsoever. Like, how are you convincing me you have dreams? You have a plan. You're like, Mom, I have a plan. I really have a plan. I promise I have a plan. It's freaking terrible.
I could crash with Dad till I get settled.
Your father.
Oh, we don't bring up dads in black households. We don't do that.
We've got roots here, families we've grown up with. What did Mercia ever get your father?
Just so you guys are aware, they're heavily against land development in this TV show as well. Like, land developers are bad, corporations bad, white people bad, white cops or all cops bad. This is the same Marxist bullshit that they want to constantly push in BLM, and they're doing it in this show as well. So now we get to the part where Robyn is leaving her house and she's going to meet up with other members of the hood.
Hey, Robyn. Look, about last night, if they got that phone, we'd be booked.
Much.
I don't know what in the hell is going on with this girl's hair, but my God. Wow.
All right, man. I'm about to catch you, fam.
You know, one of the things I think annoys me the most about this show is just how shaky the camera is. Like the camera, it's almost as if they couldn't get themselves some sort of like machine that allows for very smooth footage, because they have a shaky camera effect in multiple scenes. It's actually very prevalent and it's very annoying. Like this particular one, the fucking camera is moving with the movements of whoever is recording. It's really bad. It almost feels like it's kind of home shot. You know what I mean? Like a Blair Witch kind of style. It's not actually professionally shot. It doesn't feel that way anyway.
Stay safe out here, man.
Hey, come by my cousin's grill. Everything on the house. I'll take care of you, brother.
All right, bless yo. All right.
Take care.
These characters are wholly uninteresting. And again, it feels as if the Director X decided to play Watch Dogs Legion, and all of a sudden, he just got this idea flowing through his head to literally recreate what happens in Watch Dogs. It's almost like identical, especially when they start introducing other characters later on in the episode. It's all identical. It's ridiculous.
Huh? When I get it up, it's gonna be huge.
What? Say that again.
Yo, pause.
There is a lot of sexual innuendo jokes in here, by the way, and they all think they're funny, right? It's kind of like a, oh, that's what she said joke. Literally 5 times in the episodes that happens. This was the first time. So now it's time to get introduced to the evil white man, okay? This is the evil rich white man. There's a lot of evil white people in this TV show. This one is an evil rich white man that clearly gets where he is by killing people, because that's what these Marxists think anyway. So we have her walking into the place of business. It's a tower that rich white man owns. You're going to find out who it is in a minute. And she has a delivery for his son. And check this out.
Delivery for Chet Prince. Says I gotta hand it to him.
I'd get comfortable.
Madame Mayor, welcome to my treasure room.
It's very you.
Already the setting is very like, oh, evil white man's got his own dungeon of treasures. And not only that, he's trying to buy off a politician. That's basically what's happening right now.
This is treasure, Madame Mayor. I'm not about to put it on a field trip circuit.
You didn't ask me here for a history lesson, Mr. Prince. Your father didn't bequeath it to the city just so that you could buy it back.
So he is the son of an ex-land developer, it seems like, who gave the town back to the people, and now he's trying to buy it back so that he can profit off of it. It's a story that's going to be told over and over and over again in this TV show as time goes on, so get used to it.
It's occupied.
Well, so is a dumpster if you count the rats.
Of course, you got to make sure that he throws in some one-liners and he compares the black people living in the hood to rats in dumpsters, because that's what they feel like white people think about people in the hood. It's just, again, this whole evil white man trope thing is just really, really sad.
Don't need them on the front page, John.
You don't need them at all. Look, 2 hours from here, Mercia is bursting at the seams.
Female politician is good. Evil white man who's rich wanted to destroy the ghetto is bad.
Oh, and have I contributed to your campaign this year, by the way?
You've underestimated me, Mr. Prince.
Now, this is an interesting little thing right here. They do the typical blonde bimbo trope because, again, white women are all blonde bimbos. You know, it's funny how this is a thing, considering that the son, who's right here, is seen throughout the episode dating all kinds of women, but none of them seem to fit the trope except for this one right here.
Get to see it.
Yeah, cool. Well, you should bring your friend Michelle, and I'll show you guys this together.
Yeah, maybe.
Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
You bring one more peasant into my penthouse, Chet, and I will throw her off the balcony myself. Do you understand me?
It's amazing how he constantly compares everybody else as a peasant other than people that are either himself or people related to himself. But again, this is how the people who created this TV show imagine white people to be. It's all very much a fantasy that they are living right now. This is the part where Robyn, our titular character, meets the son of the land developer.
Ooh, yes. I've been waiting days for these. Oh, these are leather. I ordered denim.
Now, here's the part that really starts off the wokeness. And I know we're a little bit into this episode, so stick with me, guys. It gets really ridiculous from here. This is the part where her mother apparently is going to be leading a protest, and it's going to be very similar to a peaceful protest like BLM. They even make it a mission to mention that before certain things happen. So check this out.
John Prince is no good. Keep your hands off Sherwood. John Prince, you don't own us, Prince John.
So obviously that creates a little bit of a problem for Mr. Prince, and the politician ends up not wanting to be seen there anymore for obvious reasons. Check this out.
Another Bill 121 protest? I think we're done here.
Who has their pens lined up in a row like this? Are you trying to I don't know.
Mr. Prince, what can I do you for?
Thought you might not show.
Almost didn't. Some crazy lady caused a jam at the Monarch building.
All the typical tropes are here, right? You have a anti-authoritarian group trying to pass some soft elves as some like community helpers. You have a mom who's very big in the community. You have all of these typical tropes, right? You already know what's going to happen. Like, you can tell based off watching this TV show, this episode, you should know what's coming. You guys should already know what's coming before you even see it. But let's continue.
What's the point in fighting if you know you can't win?
Because some fights have to be fought.
Some fights have to be fought. They have to be. They have to be fought, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's everything you would expect. Of course, she's going to look at her daughter and be like, some fights have to be fought. They have to be. And Robyn thinks that they automatically lose, even though nobody knows that they're the super secret hood organization that apparently runs around in not so secret LED masks that you can see them from a mile away. I don't know how you're sneaking around with masks that literally glow in the dark. But again, this is the logic that we have here.
You know, maybe you should go live with your father. You sound just like him.
Now, this dude ends up coming back from the army, okay? Obviously, there is a love interest here. You're going to see that throughout the entire episode. Big time love interest. This is the only time I've ever seen her smile in the entire freaking episode. But again, it's not this as cringy. It's what happens between them that is ultra cringy. Check this out.
Robyn, it's been a minute. I remember these. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is correct. A 110, 15-ish pound woman with very little to no training is somehow keeping up with a army man that probably weighs 220, 30 some odd pounds of muscle. Yeah, apparently they're trying to sell the fact that she's able to keep up with him and have a stalemate with him as well up until the very end. Then she ends up getting flipped on her ass. But the funny thing is, that's not where this ends. And further on in the episode, it gets even worse. So after they have their little battle, something major happens right outside that gymnasium. And it's everything that you would expect to happen. And they really sell it. I want you to pay attention to the things that they say in this scene because it's very BLM oriented. Check it out.
On private property. Oh, you know that was a peaceful protest. What the hell did you do? No! Stop!
So did you hear that part? You know that was a peaceful protest. You know it was a peaceful protest. Where have we heard that before? Peaceful protest. Come on, like, where have we heard that before, ladies and gentlemen? Director X, like we know, we see what you're doing, Director X. We get it. Now here comes the fun part that every black person swears happens, and yet there's very little evidence to support it. Check this out.
Are you crazy? Put it down!
So apparently that's all it takes, okay? That's all it takes. She said, put the gun down, and he shot her. Because that's what cops do. You know, you yell at the cop to put the gun down, and they shoot you. This is the story that they want to sell you. They want to make you believe this is a thing. First, it's the whole peaceful protest thing, right? They want you to believe, oh, it was a peaceful protest. So because it was a peaceful protest, it was fully allowed. You know what I mean? Which, again, it's fine. You want to argue that? No problem. But now you're trying to say that, oh, all you got to do is yell at the cops, and then they're going to shoot you. That's it. That's all they're going to do. They want you to live in fear. They want you to have this idea of the cops. That's why in the beginning of the episode, all the people in Sherwood Towers were throwing food and everything at the cops and basically telling them to get out before they even knew why they were there. They didn't even know why they were there. They never figured it out, but they still antagonized immediately, got in the cops' face, threw shit and everything like that.
they made it into a thing. And now you have the same thing here. The cops are trying to arrest someone. Everybody's fighting back instead of being complacent and letting them have their day in court. They want to fight back. They want to antagonize, and then they end up getting shot right after saying, put the gun down. So again, this is the story they want to tell, and they're going to tell it like they always do.
Oh, yeah.
There was no emotion, by the way, when she saw her mom get shot. It was like, no, mom. Terrible.
Oh, an ambulance!
She is struggling with crying right now. Do you guys see that? She is struggling with crying right now. That's how bad of an actress this person is. So her mom ends up getting shot, and they just had to show this part right here. This is creme de la creme right here. They had to make sure they show the mom getting shot right in front of the mural that they have for Sherwood Towers, you know, where it says Richard Lionheart lives forever, right? This is someone who probably died in the past. They made a mural out of him, and it's supposed to be reminiscent of George Floyd and all that stuff that has happened. They want I can't, man. This is just terrible. So they're obviously in the hospital, and they set up this thing where it looks like her mom's gonna be dead, where the nurse comes out with a very sad look on her face. But essentially what ends up happening is, and I'm going to speed this up because I don't want to keep playing this too long. The mom ends up getting shot, but she lives, and she ends up getting paralyzed from the waist down, essentially. She got shot in a certain vertebrae that was just unrepairable with surgery, and due to the bullet, and looks like she would never be able to walk again. The daughters end up getting very sad at the situation. They run up to the mom, and they realize that Mama Dukes actually has handcuffs on her because the evil white woman is coming to make sure she gets that arrest. Check it out.
Loxley is in custody.
You're the sheriff? Your deputy shot my mom!
We're investigating the incident.
We saw it!
They really are playing up this evil white woman thing. They even got the music playing, making sure it's all solid. Like every time she walks into the room, the music changes. They sell that evil kind of feeling and story. They really are playing it up. And all Mama Dukes is innocent. She got shot and all that good stuff. So, of course, all the kids get together, talk about what they're going to do next. How can they make things better? How can they make it into, you know, something that they can get their revenge? And then what ends up happening is some woman ends up coming up to the door who's apparently an attorney who's going to represent her mom, and I think this is going to be Robyn's future love interest. Okay, she's going to have one female love interest, and the bald-headed guy is going to be her male love interest. I guarantee you, because look at the way she's looking at her. She's like, you definitely look like a strong, independent woman. I can't wait to have you, lady. You're all mine. I'm going to represent your mom. I'm going to make sure she's free, and then me and you can pay me in another way. That's exactly what's happening here. It's pretty terrible. But yes, check this.
Could we talk in private?
Let's go.
Now, really quick, before you see this lawyer talk, she has to be probably one of the worst lawyers I've ever seen, because she is literally nervous to speak. If you watch her speak, it's like she's scared. And I understand why she's doing it. They're trying to sell the fact that the guy who's a land developer, the rich white man, he has so much power and control that he actually controls the law as well. And every single lawyer knows it, so they get scared whenever they come up with a case that goes against him.
But bail has been set at $30,000.
30? That's impossible.
They claim she's a flight risk.
This acting is so bad. It is so bad. I don't know how much worse this acting can get. I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. I just wanted you guys to know I'm struggling. But I hope you guys are watching me, all the way through to the end, because it's going to get pretty bad from here. So, yes, they have that conversation about how they're going to do this, and it's $30,000 bail. How are they going to afford it? And then the kids end up having the discussion where they find out that they're just going to rob. They're going to rob the guy. Like that's just the answer. They're going to rob the guy, and how they're going to do it, they're going to use the son to do it. So Robyn ends up making new shoes that the son wants, and it's not leather, and he wants denim, so she makes it in denim. And then she ends up going to go meet up with the son back at the tower, and trying to convince him to go on a little like mini date sort of a thing, because I guess he has a thing for her. So she goes up to the penthouse where all his beautiful stuff is there, the gold is there and whatnot, and she realizes that they can steal the gold. As she's looking around, she ends up giving him the sneaker, and she swipes his key card to that upper penthouse, and that's how they start the whole plan to steal from the penthouse.
She's
a martyr with a story to tell.
But of course, before they end up leaving the penthouse and she swipes the card, the father ends up coming back and he's on the phone with, I'm assuming, the sheriff, if I'm not mistaken, and basically complaining how the black mother is made into a martyr instead of getting rid of her permanently, because apparently they were supposed to kill her and it was supposed to be a hit. They ended up actually keeping her alive and turning her into a sob story that people can jump on and kind of rally behind. So he ends up turning them into a martyr. So now he wants her removed permanently, and Robyn ends up overhearing it, and the son kicks her out because he knows it's going to look bad on his dad. So when he kicks her out, she ends up swiping the key card, and that's basically it from there. So now we're back at the main hideout, and everybody's having the discussion about what to do next, and they end up realizing that now it's time to rob the damn place because that's the only way to make things happen. They come together. This guy ends up joining the crew because he wasn't part of the crew initially. Over here, he joins the crew now because he obviously likes Robyn. That's a thing. And they end up deciding that they need a hacker, and he ends up saying that he might know someone. This dude right here says he might know someone, but he never shows his face. But he makes the phone call, and they obviously meet up with this hacker, and they make this kind of like crew where they're gonna rob the towers. Now let's skip over to where they actually rob the towers, because this is the most important part of the whole thing here. There's so many plot holes, so many loopholes in this nonsense that it really makes you wonder, like, what were you thinking in this writing? Like the entire show is completely paced in multiple different directions. The pacing is really, really bad. But this is the part where they introduce the hacker. Check it out.
Older model. I know an exploit. The all demands that I right Prince's wrongs. I'll make this drone your bitch.
Yeah, he really said that. So he ends up taking over the drone, hacking it. They put the drone together. The girl built the drone back, and he hacked it, did the software, changed everything, and made it their own. And now they have a drone that they're going to utilize. The same drone that was easily defeated by an 8-ball slingshot they're going to use themselves. So now we see this scene where they're basically training to try to like get ready, I guess, for the mission or whatever. I'm not really sure why they're training, considering they did it the same night. So I really don't know what kind of training they were going to do that was going to help them be able to get better overnight. I really don't know. But check this out. It really is freaking cringy because, again, they make sure that Robyn can keep up with not just one dude, but two. Check it out.
I'm done and I'm sick of the talk, the smiling face, not anymore. In the gutter, I come from the mud, I can give you a tour. They wanna battle, I'm ready for war. Wrestle, I come from the they wanna battle, I'm ready for war. Wrestle, not anymore. Kicking the door.
Yep, needless to say, that's going to happen a lot. There's going to be a lot of women beating up some really, really, really big dudes. And now you're going to have the sheriff overlooking the mother, where they try to play it off as if she's going to shoot her right there in the hospital. Obviously, that's not going to be a thing. I guarantee you, this sheriff is going to be a redeemed evil woman at some point. She's going to admit her white guilt and kneel before all the black people in the TV show. But that's only a matter of time. It's going to happen. Which, by the way, I can't believe how much they uglified this woman. You know, we said that many times in our stream. They made her so unbelievably ugly for this TV show. That's not how she looks in real life at all. So now they end up getting together. They get outside of Prince's Tower. And when they get outside Prince's Tower, the funny thing is, again, they're trying to sneak around in these super overly colorful tribal hoods, and they have masks that light up. Yes, you're in the dark. You're here at night. You're trying to be stealthy, and you have masks that light up in the dark that makes you easily spottable. Why this is going to be a thing for people who are trying to actively perform stealth, I really don't know. I mean, look how easy it is to see this. And not only that, they're trying to break into the building so that they can get the drone and launch the drone from inside the building to then take the drone to go outside the building. Why didn't you just launch the drone from the outside of the building? Why did you have to go inside to launch the drone inside to then put it back outside? That doesn't make any sense, but they want to do that anyway, so that's what they do. They break inside of the building, they go into the garage, and they end up launching the drone to go take a look and a peek at the tower, the top of the tower where all the good stuff is hiding. So they end up launching the drone. The drone goes outside, it flies up. They realize that it's all empty by themselves, and now they're going to plan their attack. So, of course, Robyn and the army guy, I forgot his name already, go upstairs and take point because they're going to end up robbing the place. And the other two stay behind to operate the drone and keep a lookout. Once Robyn gets into the elevator, they have this weird interaction. Check this out.
In the army?
Not really. Why? You seeing anyone?
Nothing serious. You know, guy here. girl there.
Right.
So again, they want to remind you, God, I don't know how many times they're going to do this. They want to remind you that Robyn's bisexual. She says, yep, you know, messed around with a guy here, a girl here. And he ends up doing a terrible joke and says, yeah, I've done the same. Oh, but I don't mess around with guys. You know, I have no problem with people mess around with, you know, he tries to recover. Check this out.
Me too. Girls, I mean, not guys. I don't have a problem with guys that like guys, though. Just not my thing.
So they think they're alone, but then they don't realize that now what ends up happening is Prince ends up coming back in his Rolls Royce, and the sheriff is escorting him, of course, because these two are in cahoots with each other. And Prince and the sheriff end up going upstairs, but these guys have no way to warn Robyn of what's about to happen. So Robyn ends up walking into, not a trap, but ends up walking into a situation where Prince and the sheriff end up, you see in the background, they're coming out of the elevator, getting ready to talk about how they're going to eliminate Robyn's mom. And Robyn, for some odd reason, still ends up trying to steal the gold, even though she knows that Prince and the sheriff are right there in the other room and could pretty much hear everything. So Robyn thinks it's a great idea to get up and try to steal the gold anyway. She goes to go steal it, and of course the sheriff ends up hearing the noise, looks back, and walks away as Prince starts talking to her. Check it out.
Cut from the same cloth, you and I. We have a vision of something grander.
It's a little early for trick-or-treating.
So they... you know what? I realized something as I'm watching this TV show. The most powerful weapon in the universe of Robin Hood from Director X is apparently flashlights, because every time someone gets hit with like massive amounts of light, that ruins the entire scene and suddenly they become powerless. But you know, this is neither here nor there. So Robyn, of course, ends up fighting Prince, and the sheriff ends up fighting the bald-headed black guy. But the ironic thing is Robyn absolutely destroys Prince in every way possible. Completely overpowers him, of course, because it's Robyn, and yet somehow, some way, the army dude gets completely cucked by the 110-pound female sheriff with these absolute terrible fight scenes. Check this out. I mean, seriously, I can count the seconds in between each one of her swings. She's swinging that spear so slow, and those kicks are so weak, and yet this 220-pound dude of muscle who just came from the army is getting completely obliterated by this woman. And on the other hand, Prince is just absolutely getting destroyed by Robyn, of course. Needless to say, she ends up choking him out. Yes, she does that really slow slide. She does those really slow counters and ends up choking Prince out because why? She's just amazing. And then you have this scene where the female sheriff is literally overpowering this dude. Look at this. He's holding the spear. She's got her spear on top of him and she's pushing him down and he can't fight back. Are you kidding me right now? This shit is like, are you kidding me right now? This shit is so stupid. That's it. That's all it takes. All it takes is her shooting a warning shot arrow, and she decides she's not going to spear the guy that she just overpowered. Yes, this 110-pound sheriff who just overpowered this 220-pound dude of muscle from the army just completely said, "Oh, you know what? You got me because you shot a fucking arrow at me." This is just a corny, cringy way to introduce the bow and arrow to Robyn. But of course, they're going to do it. So she ends up saving him because, you know, the woman's got to save the man, all this good stuff. Both women won their battles and they end up saving the man. Wow. So they end up not stealing the gold because they get caught essentially, but they do end up stealing the Rolls Royce. So they started off wanting the gold and end up stealing the Rolls Royce. And that's where you get this scene where they all celebrate inside of the Rolls Royce. They take the Rolls Royce back to their little hideout because, you know, it's Watch Dogs. They got to have a hideout, right? I'm telling you, this is live action Watch Dogs. This is what I feel when I watch this TV show. It doesn't even, like, Watch Dogs is not even an amazing in terms of like story, and yet it's even worse than that somehow, some way. They end up deciding they're going to take apart the Rolls Royce and sell it for pieces so that they can get all of their money that they need to bail out the mom. They need to get that 30 grand, and now they got the 30 grand.
How the hell did she post bail?
We're under no obligation to tell you that. Are we done?
So the lawyer, who is obviously going to be the love interest for Robyn, is having a field day over the fact that they posted bail. The sheriff doesn't understand how it happened, but of course she says, we are nowhere near done. This is not over. Everybody celebrates the minor small victory that is happening right now on screen. Robyn's mom can't believe it. Then we get back to the hideout and we see the super hacker guy essentially trying to upload, it looks like, their music video that they filmed prior. He's trying to upload the music video to, I guess, some sort of network that's going to get them mass exposure, where they're going to blame the theft of the Rolls Royce on the Hood. This is when the Hood becomes popular, when the Hood band becomes popular, because they upload a video themselves doing a music video in front of the stolen Rolls Royce, and Prince ends up seeing it and realizes that they're the one who stole it. Check it out.
It's time.
Y'all ready?
Let's go.
You ready?
Do it.
Make some noise, baby.
The fact that they try to make this a thing because he's a hacker, so you got to do all this crazy shit, is really cringy, man. Like, just come on. Can't you get someone who uses the old-fashioned keyboard and mouse? You got to make this guy do some sort of, like, telekinesis with his freaking hands to try to sell the fact that he's a hacker. But whatever. Anyway, so he ends up hacking into something that allows it to broadcast a music video of them doing something in front of the Rolls Royce. Check it out. And it goes into this really cringy music.
Run it, run it, run it, run it, run it, run it, run it. You know we run this, run this.
I do love the fact that they're trying to showcase YouTube reactions, right? Like this is supposed to represent YouTube, even though it says new nodding gossip. No, it's YouTube. Like this whole thing is YouTube. So they broadcasted the video to YouTube. They're getting a massive amount of views. Obviously, Prince sees it, shows it to the sheriff. They get super pissed. They say this is not over, and the show ends with this god awful music video and this terrible dancing and this just terrible everything.
Run this hood.
The best part about this show was when the screen went black, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, that is the episode 1 review for this terrible TV show called Robyn Hood. My God, I don't even know if I'm ready to see what episode 2 is going to have. I just don't know what's going to happen. And I'm dying of cringe. I literally am. Like, I'm dying of cringe. But I'm doing this for you guys. So if you made it this far somehow into this video, I appreciate you so much. Like the video, push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and freaking subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll see you on the next one. Hypnotic out.